What is up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Camera Junkie live stream. My name is Luis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I remind you, as always, to upgrade your skills before your gear. And if it's your first time here, welcome. Please be sure to introduce yourself into the chat so you can get the nice Camera Junkie crew welcome. All right, and with that being said, the first thing that we always do around here is to go and check to see who are the first members of the Camera Junkie crew who are hanging out in the chat. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, it's here, and we have Parker in the house saying hello to everyone. How are you? All right, everything seems to be working fine. Make sure here. We have Randy saying hello, everyone. Hope you're all well and had a great week. Are you ready for the holiday coming up? No, that's my response, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, that's the 4th of July coming up, and yeah, haven't even thought about it. I am on the grind, for those of you who know, of looking for a new place, a new apartment location for me and my father, and it's been a little bit harder than what I thought. You know, looking for a place for me and Aiden seemed to have been a lot easier. When it comes to adding my father, is just becoming that much more difficult, but we march on. We also have Paul in the house saying what's up, saying greetings. And it looks like we have Gretchen. It says on camera link. I love it. Go Gretchen. All right, Paul says Maestro he doesn't like the fireworks, so he stays home. So I stay home with him. You know, I've seen a lot of fireworks. One of the best things that I actually got to experience was having a house next to an airport. Now, it wasn't the biggest airport, but in Pembroke Pines, just off the edge of Hollywood City here in South Florida, across the street from the BCC, or is it called BCC? Yeah, Broward Community College. And there's North Perry Airport, and on 4th of July they always have a huge fireworks show that people come from all around and stand around the fence of this. And I was just 2 blocks away, so I would just sit in my front yard and enjoy like the fireworks shows on 4th of July. And that was always a lot of fun, because it was like the fireworks were brought to me, and I didn't have to worry about hassle of like going to the beach and finding parking and doing any of these things. So we would just like grill, make some food at the house, and then watch the fireworks while we sat on lawn chairs in the front. It was good times. Good times. He says, I mean, on camera link for Cities Go. Yeah, that happened a while ago, right? The on camera for that. We have Jeremy in the house as well saying, yo, 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 peeps. Fireworks and a lot of noise. Yeah. We have at 34 Media saying good day to all. How are you? Welcome, welcome. All right. Well, as we get into today's topic, if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. It's highly appreciated and it's absolutely free. Today's topic is failing at DaVinci Resolve. So I got my hands on DaVinci Resolve Studio, and I, coming from Final Cut Pro, I decided to dive into it, and I also decided to do it without seeing any tutorial videos, or just going into it, on a whim, so to speak. And my first impressions is that I'm gonna need a tutorial. I'm not gonna even fake about it, because I felt like it's not intuitive for me, at least. And coming from editing itself, there were certain things that I was just looking for, how to import media and things like that just wasn't intuitive at all. Now, the first thing that wasn't intuitive to me was the fact that DaVinci Resolve 20, which is the free version, and DaVinci Resolve Studio, which is the pro version, are two completely different applications. So the first couple of days that I actually got the license for the DaVinci Resolve Studio, I spent a lot of time in DaVinci Resolve 20 trying to find where I can put the key to upgrade the software, right? To unlock all of its potentials. So if you're looking to do the same exact thing, then just know, as a novice coming into this completely not knowing, it's a completely different application. So once I figured that out, I then downloaded DaVinci Resolve Studio, which is their pro version, and then I was asked for the key to do the installation, and everything was unlocked. So that was the first thing. Now, once I got into the application, then like I said, I still didn't find it to be intuitive. It just that, yeah, like I'm looking for things, I'm looking through all the like subcategories and all the files and everything that is giving me, and I'm gonna need help. So if you're seeing this and you have some tips or tricks to help me out, this is kind of like a cry for help here, because I am going to be diving into Resolve. I want to learn the application and understand that it's like a completely different language, but there is a steep learning curve, especially with this one. Now, the reason why is because there's a lot of AI branded benefits coming out right now for this application. And I have a friend of mine, Paul Chambery, that actually, I believe I said his name right. Paul will correct me. That he's been harping all about the features and how much he's been loving it, and that's why both the Doctor of Rocks, Doc Rock, and myself are diving into it now. It is rumored that Mr. Boulder Physician is going to be doing a 30-day challenge in July, which will be interesting. But me, myself, I'm trying to get to working on it right now. It does look like I'm going to have to take a course of some kind or something. Yeah, the other Paul. So the other Paul was the one that's constantly talking about this application. And now I'm just going to show you where I'm stuck. And if you guys have any suggestions or see something that I don't, please point them out. I will highly appreciate that. I'm going to be hyper vigilant on the chat, because I really don't have anything else to do, because I'm kind of stuck on it. Now, one thing that I just learned about DaVinci Resolve compared to what I'm used to in Final Cut Pro is that I do have the settings set in Final Cut Pro that whenever I import media, it saves it to the file that I'm using it, so that if I need to move that file, I don't need to go running around looking for the media. Now, the first and only project that I tried to open inside of DaVinci Resolve, I imported media from my memory card, and now that that memory card is not connected to my machine, when it opens up again, it's got a bunch of red saying missing files. So I'm not sure if you cannot do it or that I don't have it set up yet, but I do not have the files connected to it because I don't have that memory card connected to the system at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're just going to open up and just going to try to edit a new file from files that are already on my computer, instead of going to look for that memory card with all of the creator camp footage on it. We have Tora in the house. She says exactly what I've spent all day doing, Louis, diving into DaVinci. So we're on the same page. Now I'm being completely upfront that I don't know this application. Like I said, I don't find it to be that intuitive, but let's go ahead and get into it. Let me go to that scene. All right, here we are. So this is DaVinci Resolve, and we have an untitled project here. All right, this window. Keep it over here. Okay, so we have these tabs here along the bottom. Now I just want to make sure that, okay, yeah, we got the big cursor so you guys could follow along easily. Right here down at the bottom we have these tabs, and they should say what they are. It says no clips in media pool. Okay, so this is the media tab, I believe. This is the cut page. Let me see. Yeah, media. We have cut, edit, fusion, color, Fairlight, which is audio music, and then deliver. Now, I have only briefly, and I think once, maybe twice, used DaVinci at all. And it was very just surface level. It was the free version, so I wasn't trying to get really deep into it. And all I ended up using at that moment was the cut page and the deliver page. Because like in Final Cut, if you're coming from my aspect, we're doing it all on the same page. And once you're done with the edit on the cut page right there, you can just hit the little icon on the right hand corner and export it out. In DaVinci, you need to hit this tab here at the bottom. Let me see if I can zoom into it again. Oh, you guys don't see the zoom. This whole entire time I'm thinking you guys are seeing the zoom, and you're not. Very interesting. Okay, so anyway, if you guys aren't seeing it, then I'm not going to continue to do the zoom. It only slows me down. Okay. So the deliver button is what you have to do the export, so that then you can get the file out. But let's go ahead and we start with the first tab here at the bottom. No clips in media pool. So what am I going to do? We're going to search for some media. And we're going to go into my hard drive. That's very interesting. Why am I seeing this? That's the actual hard drive. Oh, okay, because it has it here. The Macintosh HD. Okay. Let's go into users. And we're going to find me, Mr. MCJ. And here, you know what? I like to see it in list view. I prefer it. That's just the way my mind works. You tell me, what do you prefer, list or icons? I'm interested. Okay, so what am I looking for again? Okay, we can go into desktop. No, let's take a step back. Movies, Ecamm live recordings, and here, okay, Let's pick something that we've done already. Okay, so I have a couple of videos that I need to like cut real quick for oh, I didn't know that. Definitely a list brain, says Tora. Yeah, we're on the same page. Okay, so I have this thing here called the Cinco monitor, right? This is MagSafe. It connects wirelessly to your iPhone so that you can have like a selfie from facing camera while using the good cameras on your phone, you know, the ones on the back. And then we have this magnetic ring mount, which is this piece right here. Guys, let me know which one you think, which one I should edit, because I make these quick little like videos for Amazon, and I have those two as basically our options for today's video to edit. So let me know which one you want to edit, the video for the magnetic clip or the video for the Cinco. I'll be waiting on your response. Hey, June is in the house, and he says, what is he saying? He says, I prefer to just drag and drop my clips in. You know, I always forget that about Mac because I come from Windows. So let me see which one you guys which one you guys want me to which files you want me to drop in. So okay, Cinco. That was the first one. Let's go with it. She's interested in getting one, says Tora. Okay. And magnetic clip. We'll do that one next time, Randy, or right after if we get through this fast enough. Okay. So now back into Resolve. We have the Cinco. So we have that. And then here drag and drop. Yeah. Okay. So it says change project frame rate. The selected clips have different frame rates on the project. Would you like to change your timeline frame rate to match? You can't undo this action. Interesting. Now, I'm not sure what's the frame rate that my timeline is on at the moment. So let's not change. But if it's going over here, see, we're learning. Oh, we got two versus one. Okay, but we're also going to learn over here. I was able to do it directly within DaVinci Resolve. Another way that I was looking at it, it was like right clicking, said add clips to media pool with offset. Add clips into media pool, right? And that's the other way that I had done it. But like June had just said, we can drag and drop everything on Apple, and sometimes even the simplest things just go right over my head here because of it. So now I'm gonna just try to drag the media in because we're just adding media. We haven't even gotten into the timeline. So because we got two for the magnetic clips, we're going to add that data as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm just opening the folder over here in a completely different window, and I'm just gonna drag it, not using the finder tool, so to speak, within DaVinci. So now I'm gonna grab camera A. Okay, and I'm just gonna, yep. See, thank you, June. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes it's so easy, and I forget how easy it is that I make it difficult for myself. So we just click, drag and drop, and the media is in. Now, I am still a little like, what speed is my timeline and all this stuff, because I don't remember setting any of that at all. June just says, go check your project settings. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm opening up preferences to see if anything is here. Video plugins. Oh, that's another thing. When I have 0 plugins or anything for DaVinci Resolve, that's gonna be interesting as well, because everything that I have is for Final Cut. So at this point, it is going to be very interesting to see what I'm capable of doing with what they're giving me before adding any type of plugin package. Oh man, that totally slipped my mind. Okay. In preferences, let me see what we're getting from advanced. Like nothing. It seems like you can write G code on it. Video and audio is just telling me what systems are being used to render. Decode options, H.264, H.265. Storage, okay. Doesn't look like we're getting anything here, so let's just save that here. He says the project settings. So now I'm in the project, right? An untitled project. So you see now I'm looking for the settings particular for the project. He says shift 9, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that a shot. It looks like June is a little familiar with that, so sir, I appreciate all of your help. Function F9. Oh, hold on. My mic. Holy shit. Oh, I said the thing wrong. I was muted the entire time. Very interesting. That's what happens with my F9 button. Let me see if it continues to do so. No. Okay, so he says it's under file. Okay. Let's see. File. The project settings. Awesome. Okay. So now we're here and it says that we're in 20. Okay. We're in 4K 24 frames per second. And that's what is defaulting into. Which I wouldn't want that. So let's see. It says that I couldn't change it. Shift F9. Okay, so I'll give that a try as soon as I close out this window. Okay, so it says video monitoring. I guess that's playback. It's saying playback at 1080. Timeline resolution is 4K. $29.97 drop frame, and let's save that here. It's so funny. It says you can't undo this action. I'm like, aren't I undoing the first action that I couldn't undo? Let's change it anyway. Okay. So now I believe we're set to 30 frames per second, which is what I usually edit in. The reason why is because sometimes I shoot at 60 frames per second, and that gives me the flexibility to slow that down at 2 times speed or like half speed and still get the perfect amount of frames to fit within the resolution or within the frame rate. You understand? Like if you have 60, you cut that in half, you double it, you put those 60 frames amongst the 30 frame timeline, and you get half speed, which is just right amount of slow motion in my aspect. Sometimes I think 120 frames slow motion, unless you're recording something that's really fast moving, like action sports or anything like that, it is absolute overkill. If you're doing slow motion on stagnant or still objects, 60 frames a second is more than enough. You just end up with just so much useless footage if you do anything other, in my opinion. Okay, so now that we have some media on here and we've gotten into the project settings, thank you very much. And now that we're here, we're going to try that. Okay, so I'm going to hit Option Shift. I think it just muted me. Yep. That's very interesting because I didn't know I had that power on my keyboard. Just one button. And I'm going to try that now on all the different aspects on my Zoom calls and things like that, because that's a lot easier than even hitting the button on my road. And I can see that the audio is not going through, so I know it's working. So hey, you learn something new every day. Okay, now we're going to click onto this next window down here, which is the cut page. Bam, which is the timeline. And this is more or less what I'm used to seeing. So here, let's see what we have. Here we have the Cinco file. And this should be the same. Oh, that's just me looking at it. Let's try to remove this. Remove selected clip or shift delete. I'm going to try the shift delete. Right? That was shift. And shift delete didn't work. Right? The up is shift? No, shift is... Oh, let's remove selected. Oh, he says shift and number 9. Okay, let's give it a shot here. Shift 9. Nope. I'm going to go back to the first page. Shift 9. Nope. That did not open the project settings either. Okay. Okay, so now it being a Mac computer that I'm working on right now, I'm gonna attempt to just drag and drop right from up here onto down there. We're gonna grab this. Bam. Okay, and now we have the file. What happened? Like I was seeing what you guys are seeing, and that didn't even happen to me. Like it was just loading the file onto Resolve, and you guys got this weird glitch because I'm looking at what you guys seeing over here in the corner of my eye, and that was weird. All right, we march on. Okay, so now we have our file here. Man, there's just certain conveniences that I'm already used to, that I'm already like, what is it? Is it anxiety, right? In a fun way, because I don't know how to shrink the entire file. Like I'm used to just being able to hit Shift Z and kind of like see the entire timeline within the application. But I can see I'm only seeing like the first minute, right? And as I scroll, here we are. Okay, so I was adjusting to here. I was adjusting ISO. So the first minute or so, it's like straight useless, right? See, like overexposed. We're just scrolling. Okay, so right here, let's say really a minute 40. Goodness. Okay, so a minute 40 is where I'm gonna make my first cut. I'm seeing like the entirety of the time. It's not even the entirety. It's just where I'm sitting here, right? My goodness. All right, so let me see. Randy says full program may not have the same keys as the free version. Oh, okay, that does make sense because, like I said, it's a completely different program. So it says, "You're the man figuring it out. I resulted to step-by-step tutorials. I'm still on the interface." Hey, I'm over here doing the same thing. I haven't looked at a tutorial, Tora, but at the same time, I'm asking my crew over here to help me out, and June is coming in clutch because I could have stayed there for a minute, like, huh? And he's like, "Yo, I usually drag and drop," and I'm like, I'm gonna fess up, guys, that like I wasted a lot of time the other day not dragging and dropping anything, just trying to use the application, and that's why it took so long. It says you want to be in the third icon on the bottom edit and not cut. Under edit, you can do zooming into the timeline view. Oh, okay. So you see, that's great. So we're gonna skip the cut page now that we've thrown this footage onto the timeline, and we're gonna click this guy right here, and we're gonna click the next one, which is the edit page. See, June's coming in clutch, my brother. Okay, so let me close this window over here. Okay, and you see now I'm seeing controls that I'm familiar with, because this right here looks like that same zoom in, zoom out of the timeline view. See? That right there is what I like to call intuitive. Now, in this page, I'm seeing this key here on the side, master. Oh, and Aiden's asking for snacks. There you go, buddy. Okay. I'm gonna just change the size of this because, oh man, I wish I could have made that smaller. I wanted to make the timeline bigger. Okay, I'm gonna go into view. And I don't see master as something that I could just like take off. Is it in workspace? Show page navigation? Nope, that was not the one. We could leave that on. And I'm looking, and I'm not sure if master is needed at that, like it's taking up so much space. Tora says, I'm thinking now after watching you that I should probably go ahead and just start with studio instead of the free versions, the learning curve. Absolutely. And if you can do it, I recommend it because it's the same thing. And whenever you invest a little, funds into anything, you tend to use it just because you're invested into it. When things are free, like the Resolve 20, it's sat on my computer for years already. Like DaVinci Resolve free version, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll end up getting around to it. Now put a little, finances behind like your intention, and it just gives you that motivation because you want to make the most out of your money. Because after you've paid for something and it's come from your pocket, is like you say, you're putting your money where your mouth is, and you're gonna want to make sure that you make the most of it. That's just the way that I see it. Says Mira and God says, how much better is the paid version of Resolve than the free version? I'm just starting it out, right? So I'm want to give that as a asterisk right off the bat. But my friend Paul swears by it. He's like he's been telling me and Doc Rock that the new AI like sync to the beat music and like the way that it does the smart edit. So the smart edit is, from what he's explained to me, and I'm just going to try to convey it as best as possible. If we do a multicam like stream, like right now, I need to get back into Ecamm, right? If I were to go, pardon the mess, but if I were to go top down, right, which would be good if I uncover it, right? If I go from my top down to talk about like the Cinco, or let's say I go to my PTZ, which should drag it over here, right? And I'm using this camera. If for any reason I would switch to any of these different cameras, I have the ability to have the isolated files of each individual one of these cameras. So the front facing, my side view, and my overhead are all being recorded as their own files inside of Ecamm. As soon as we're done with the stream, I will then be able to go into Resolve, hypothetically, right? I still don't know how to use it, but using this smart editor, I will be able to put all three of those like timeline or those pieces of footage onto the timeline and tell it to do the smart edit and it will automatically recognize which camera I'm looking at. So if at any point throughout the live stream I start looking at this camera and start recording to it, even if I didn't switch it here on my stream like I had just done, the editor is still going to recognize that I'm now facing this second angle and then automatically cut to it to synchronize the audio with it. So it's getting very advanced, and all of the main key features that you want to get out of this application are in the paid version and they're not in the free. And it's almost like they don't even give you a glimpse. You know, they almost don't even tease you with how good these new features are in the free version. So unless you have somebody like, in my case, Paul, my friend, who's constantly telling us like, yo, this is the new things that are happening or are up into the, you know, the people who are creating content around this, you wouldn't know. Like me, like I'm just, you know, in my work bubble and producing as much as I possibly can, that, you know, things start to progress around you, and it's only like when they reach a fever pitch or a boiling point where you'll be able to find out about it. And now this is the time that I'm looking into resolve. Paul has got a comment here as well. He says, from what he's read, what you can learn from the free version carries over into studio. Yeah, like you're gonna know these windows better, but I don't think you get a glimpse of what you can do with the paid version in the free version. June says the free version for most part will let you know what features are in studio, and they're not different version in that sense, just certain features locked out. Yeah, and because they're locked out, like I said, they don't give you like a glimpse of that. Hey, what's up, Doc? It says, man, thanks for the topic tonight, Louis. Confirming all my thoughts today. Perfect. You see, everything happens for a reason. We got Mr. Boulder Physician in the house, Doc Rock, saying to his bro, why you crashing out stream? He's not crashing, he is helping. He like the first 40 minutes of the stream would not have gone as swimmingly if not for Mr. Jun Kang. So big ups to this man. Thank you very much. All right, so let's get back to that edit page. All right. Ooh. Okay. So I'm not going to deal with it right now just because of the time constraints. So we're going to try to start getting some cuts in here as well. Another thing that I don't have is my shortcuts. I'm not familiar with any of the shortcuts or keyboard shortcuts that will allow me to quickly cut. Now this looks like the cut tool and it says B, blade mode or edit. Okay, so hit. Okay, interesting. Which is this one? What do I have to hit? A. Okay, A and B. A for all and B for blade. Okay. Let's see what else we can see. This says full extended zoom. Okay, so that's basically what I did. This is zoom in to where I'm at on the timeline. And this is a custom zoom, which I guess I can set afterwards. We'll figure that out. Doc says, man, people stop simping and pay the $258. Why isn't the comment coming up on stream? There we go. It says, people stop simping and pay the $250. Y'all ain't that broke. Priorities, that's all. Says, I set mine to have FCP keys. You know what? I might have done the same thing. And I don't even remember. Let's see. Oh no, that's Ecamm. I'm over here, the wrong program. Okay, DaVinci. Keyboard customization. Yeah. So right here in this area, as you can see, I have it set up to Final Cut Pro X. Okay, so that's gonna help me out a lot. Okay, so you see, that's cool because DaVinci's meeting us halfway. You know, they're recognizing that that there's some converts coming around. Okay. But they're still not set up to my Stream Deck, so let's go ahead and not use that. Okay, so now we're gonna click this little thing here to get in here, and this is where I'm gonna create my first cut. We hit B, and now we hit that. So now, what do you guys see? Oh crap. Okay. And now let's see if I just hit delete. Boom. Okay. All right. So I made my first cut, and then I highlighted the two pieces and then removed that. Okay. So Raphael Ludwig says the same thing. It says move the set to FCP and you're good. All right. All right. So Doc, you can confirm now, because I had mentioned that there's a rumor that you're going to start a 30-day challenge with Resolve in July. So you can either confirm, deny, or however you please here in the chat. Says they're going to what? So they're going to get paid this week now. CapCut lost its mind. Oh yes, I heard about that. So for those of you who don't know and might have been using CapCut, apparently there was an update to the terms of service, and anything that you have uploaded into CapCut or anything like that, like, belongs to CapCut now, and they're able to use it like at their own discretion for advertisements. So any footage or videos that you've uploaded using to CapCut now belongs to that company and is like no longer yours because you're using this application now. It sucks. It does. But I'm kind of glad that I never got to use it, because I never uploaded any footage that they can now claim as their own. So that's a good thing for me, but it sucks for the way that, like Doc said, they've just lost their minds. Okay. So I made my first cut. Let's go ahead and see. I'm going to press L. L does nothing. Let me make sure. Oh no. Okay, it does play it. And pressing L twice does give it 2 times speed. So that's good stuff. Space. Okay, let's see. Okay, I like having visual timeline scrubbing. Dynamic trim mode slip. I don't think that's it. I'm gonna try to see here. Okay, it looks like I'm gonna, no, I have to grab the playhead. I'll be fine. I'll be looking for comments if I'm doing this wrong. Paul says we've all been canceling our subscriptions and deleting our accounts. Dude, it's crazy work what they're doing. Crazy work. Okay, right now for me to get the playhead to show me, I have to literally grab the playhead and move it around. So that's a bit of a difference. Okay, so let's see where I want this to start. Okay, it starts there, right? Cinco, right? That's good enough. Before I do any motion, there's going to be my next cut. I hit B for blade. Bam. Okay. Now I'm going to scroll ahead. And I guess I was highlighting the X view, right? This onto the box. Okay, so let me do this. Okay, let me see if there's a trim. That didn't work. I'm using the shortcut, keyboard shortcuts from Final Cut. So I'm just, let me see, option. Nope. What is this? Dynamic trim tool. Okay. Oh, I'm hitting shortcuts on my mouse. Okay, I hit another cut point. So I'm trying to see if I could find the trim tool, but as of right now, we're just gonna go ahead and click these two, and once again hit the delete to remove that. So now from here, let's go back to A, right? Oh, that's something that you turn on or off. Okay, I'll see exactly what that does. Okay, so June is helping me out once again. It says you don't have to grab the playhead. It starts wherever you start by clicking on the timeline, but you gotta be in that ruler section. Oh, it has to be in this little ruler section here. Okay, perfect. See, and that's what I'm telling you. Like, it's not that I'm like knocking on it, but these are just the little nuances that are not so intuitive. Like, I have this much space, right, between these two little gaps to get the playhead, right, to manipulate it however I want. But at the same time, like, my mouse cursor doesn't change at all to let me know that there's a feature hidden within that spot. Okay, he also says you're trying to use O to set the out point. You got to double click the clip. Okay. Okay, so if, like, let me see what happens when I hit O. Double click it. Okay, I'm gonna hit Command Z. I'm gonna try to figure that out. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna hit blade. Then I'm gonna blade this up here. Bam. Right, to add that. So it goes from here to that view, right? And then I can clip out all this extra stuff. I think I struggled with opening this box, if I remember correctly. But let's go back over here. And let me see if I can add an effect here within the editing page. That is the funniest comment. He's like, wait, so my brother knows how to use it. Exactly, like, we're gonna be taking lessons from June, my bro. Like he says he never came down stairs to show me. Okay. I don't, like I said, I don't have any plugins. I don't have anything like that added. So right now, what I'm gonna try to do is I want to see if I can add a simple zoom feature. Oh, where I lost it? Okay. Right here. Because even though it's okay, actually, or maybe just manipulate the actual image. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit A. So we have our standard. I'm gonna select this clip and let me see if there's an inspector window, which I'm gonna click over here. All right, okay. So now we're inspecting over here and we're having a zoom. Bam, look, that was pretty easy, not gonna lie. So I just, like everything else, as soon as you see like the mouse change, see just that little thing of having the little cursor change, it makes all the difference in the world. So as soon as the cursor change, I just grab on it and I'm able to just slide it left to right to get the zoom that I want. And now that we're extra zoomed in, right, it doesn't fall in within the, you know, focus points that the rule of thirds guides. So I don't want it down here. I'm gonna want it more centered. So let me see. Position X. Yeah, here. And then position Y. Gonna zoom it up there and bam. See? Now that's a little bit dead center. All right. And now if I were to see, it doesn't move on all this extra dead space. It's work with me. So here we're gonna click on it to move on that timeline. We're gonna press space, right? And I was just gonna zoom in. Oh, that was horrible. That was way too fast of a zoom. Okay. Why is it doing that? Why is it not playing after? Is it this? Let's see. Yep. Something with this dynamic thing. It was only showing me like that clip over and over again. So we'll figure it out. Oh, I didn't get to read it. You guys are tripping me out. It says, June says, you never asked. Says June charges. Says, he goes, that's some Etta little brother-ish right there. He says appointments are appointments. He goes, I think June takes credit cards. And this is what he was explaining. He says, turn off the dynamic trim thing right besides the razor. It's yellow. Yeah. I got it right before I saw your comment. iPad typing sucks. I tried to say pretty, not Etta. I try to read, typos as best as I can. Doc says, going to sleep, gotta work tomorrow at 6 a.m. and Florida people make today. Yeah, that's true. I do live streams at 10. Imagine when I used to do them at midnight. Is that Florida humidity impacting typing? Says, go to bed, Tampa, you damn hooligans. He's experiencing West Coast, the best coast, Florida style. Yep. West Coast of Florida. That's why Florida is so dope. We have East and West Coast. Like we got it all here. We got coast, gulfs, and because Doc experienced it just earlier in the year, we even have snow. So we got a little bit of everything. The one thing missing is we don't have any mountain ranges. But back to the edit. We turned off that dynamic trim thing. And now we're able, my hand automatically goes to my stream deck. Okay, there. Okay, that works. Because it gives the zoom and then kind of shows that backing off. We're going to make a cut there. B for blade. And, and now we're just going to scroll ahead over here. Oh, I didn't make a cut on this side. All right. So let's see where we're at. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to lie. It's moving great on my computer. So there's been no hiccups whatsoever. I have noticed that it looks like it's glitching out when I'm making like switches between the windows and stuff like that. But on my end, it's been running flawlessly. He says it's hot as hell in Florida. And that's the humidity. It is, because you can't hide from the heat in Florida. It's not like derived by the sun, right? The sun cooks the water and makes it evaporate, and then it just lingers because there's no like hills or things like that to like kind of block certain winds or to keep certain atmospheres at bay. So it's like a frying pan, and the humidity will find you in the shade. You know, you'll just be standing there and it's just hot, just you know, Arizona has dry heat, right? Like desert, and Florida has like wet heat where you're just standing outside and you're just sweating and you're not moving. And it's just like the sweat molecules are sticking to you because it's so hot outside that your internal temperature is cooler than outside. So you start to be like if you were a soda can. Like even if you're not moving, you're like, hey, I'm just trying to stay cool, and that tends to make you even more wet. Paul says you bitch when you're in Massachusetts and it's cold, and when it's hot, never happy. Yep, that's about right. Says y'all got Florida booty damn pancetta. It's called swamp ass. That's what we get over here when the beads of sweat moisture from the humidity like pile up on your back and then just shriek until they hit the crack of your ass. That is true. Hands for days. You're in Florida, brother. Paul says he has to get up at 6 too. But actually, oh, even before that. What time is that for you, Paul? Is that like an extra 3 hours? So you're getting up at 3? Or are you getting up at 6 to be up by 9? Says, yeah, Florida is nice. You get sunsets and sunrise over the ocean. What's not to like? He says, my stream looks great. Thank you. I appreciate it. He says, because Hawaii's weather is perfect until they get hit by a tsunami. Says 4K crispy. I appreciate it, man. That's why, you know, Mr. Camera Junkie was for a reason. I love doing this and I have a lot of fun. Says dripping for no dang reason. Yep, that's the humidity. He says Hawaii weather is just the same. That's what I imagine, but there is a difference because even though we're like in the same climate, I can honestly tell you any Caribbean island that you hop onto, it is like night and day because you don't get the same type of heat that you get in Florida. It's because it's all flat. It's like frying pan. It's just weird. It just gets a different level of heat because there's, like I said, there's nothing to block it. And in Puerto Rico, you know, there's shade and there's breeze and a lot of things that move throughout the mountains, and it's cool. You know, it's the humidity is never like this, especially on the inner parts of the island. This is very interesting, but that's just my understanding. And I do believe that Hawaii also has like a lot of mountainous landscapes. All right. Oh, we're at 11. So let's continue over here. Back on the edit. Okay. Over here. See. Mixer. You can't turn it off? I guess not. Okay. So now let's just go to okay, right there. We're gonna hit B for blade. Take this, hit delete. Hey, I'm seeing a magnetic timeline now. Let me know as well if that's just because I chose the Final Cut layout, you know, that it's applying it, but it's doing the same thing, that as soon as I clip something out, it's magnetizing and just putting it right back. Yeah, you see, June confirms it. Florida is frying pan flat, like. And then the crazy thing that a lot of the roads are like straight. So there's a very famous road here in the United States called Tail of the Dragon in Tennessee. And it is the road, it's like 11 miles with like 287 curves. You understand? Some like it is the most curviest mountain terrain, and it's like a driver's paradise. It's on the bucket list, something that I want to do. And then I saw Florida's version, which was I-95 from Miami to Jacksonville. It was like 287 miles, 11 turns, because we're all gridded. Everything is just left turn, right turn. Everything's flat and square. It's very interesting. We don't have a lot of diversity when it comes to the winding roads and things like that. It's just flat frying pan. That's Florida. Does I might have to change the title of this live stream? Hey, happily, I'll put learning, because of June, DaVinci Resolve. He goes, this is what you call a squirrel. Absolutely. I lost like what 15-20 minutes on that, but hey, I'm having fun. Look, Alligator Alley. Yep. You can't get straighter than Alligator Alley, right? 4 hours to get from East Coast to West Coast, just straight. And Taurus says, I miss the Florida humidity compared to the Texas frying pan. Ooh, because you see, I'm guessing Texas is more like Arizona and that dry heat. Says, the only thing is that we're winding around on 95 is slow pokes in the left lane. Oh, don't get me started, man. Don't get me started, because that's, if you're going speed limit in the left lane, you're committing a crime. Just so you know, like, it's in this state, it's a crime if you're doing that. It says, come to San Francisco for the crookedest roads. Actually, that's why there's such a big car scene in California, which I'm always like attentive to, because they have a, like, you can go from the city where you're gonna get the inner city aspects, and then take your cars to the winding roads and to the mountains, and have just a good time driving your cars. And my little hatchback, I've hooked up the suspension, and it's so stable. It drives like a go-kart. I love it. That's why I want to take it to the Tail of the Dragon. Okay, so through the inspector window, what I was able to learn is that we're able to get a zoom. And I know with keyframing, right, we'll be able to like push and pull and get like a Burns effect, right? A Ken Burns effect, and a lot of different things like that if we want to add it. And that's without plugins. So that's good news. Once again, I'm hitting this. My hand goes automatically to the Stream Deck. So one thing that I need to do right off the bat is to continue to learn on DaVinci. I need to set these shortcuts to the Stream Deck ASAP, because my hand automatically just falls there whenever I go to edit. So it's muscle memory already at this point. Okay, let's go ahead and see if I can just get one last thing done. Okay, we're doing there, right? Before I start moving it, I want to cut it there again. Bless you, Aiden. I don't know if you guys heard him sneeze, but he did. Okay, I'm looking at the box now, which is not necessary. Finding the tab. Try to up and realize, hey, I just need to pull it out from the side. So I might not even need any of those cuts. Yeah, because I don't think that stick was holding it in. Okay, so you know what? B, blade. Okay, let's hit this. Is this one? Yep. Okay, so this is showing me the entirety of the timeline. We'll click onto this, which will get me to that same exact spot. Okay, this gives me a better view. Okay. Yeah, I didn't need to deal with that sticker at all. I just needed to just yank it. Okay, so if that's so, we can go from this shot X4 view, right? And now from here, these two, let's go back to A. These two clips right here that I was doing, fuera! Get those out of here. And now this is going straight from here to here. Bam. Fuera! Perfect. We hit B again. Okay, right there. See? B again. Oh, I hit something incorrect. Let's do that. We'll figure out what X did because I was just trying to do X. So I'm hitting the actual delete button on the keyboard, which I'm used to hitting like Command X or something like that. Not sure exactly which one does which. If I am correct, if I remember correctly, in Final Cut Pro, when you hit delete, it just removes the clip, right? If you hit Command X, it removes it, but it keeps it into the clipboard so that the next thing that you paste would be that clip. If you do it through the delete key or the button on the keyboard, it will not throw it into the keyboard and just remove it from the timeline. All right. Says ret time and scaling under inspector learned help me zooming in and speed. Oh, okay. So you see, like, these are just, oh, I'm glad that you're able to learn from my editing, but these are just techniques that have been used like in all of these different programs. So that's something that I brought just from, even I would say, Premiere, even before I started using Final Cut Pro. Okay, so June says, by the way, bottom right corner is another way to get project settings. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see it now at the bottom right hand corner. So for those of you who are seeing this, actually, right over here, well, as soon as his comment times out, right here, yeah, project settings. Okay, so we're there, right? B. You know, I am gonna say something, and this is going back to the timeline head only moving when I'm clicking within the little ruler area has its benefits already. For one reason, the way that I'm used to it in Final Cut Pro, whenever I go to make one of these cuts, right, as soon as I move my mouse, it's gonna move the position. And in this one, as soon as I set it, I'm able to hit B for blade and then go back to it and click on it because that's where I want to make the cut. So little things like that I say, you know, are those either time consuming or time saving little aspects and nuances of the editors. Okay, so we flip it, right? That's excuse me. Wow, excuse me. So that's the clip that I wanted to get rid of from here, right? I wanted to jump to this where we start opening it up. So this clip here, we're gonna delete. And yeah, we're like 10 minutes past the hour, so this is where I'm gonna leave it. I want to give a big shout out to June because you've helped me immensely in just getting this far, and I'm already doing something on a timeline. The rest I'm gonna have to just either Google it when I come to that, you know, like a fork in the road, right? That creation stop, or at the same time spend some time and just listening to a couple of these tutorials on DaVinci Resolve just to get, you know, my wits under me and using this program. Like, I haven't seen Oh, well, I just see it over here for those of you who are still following along. There's an effects panel up here, which it looks like, yeah, cross dissolves and things like that, some basic transition effects. Other things that I just need to start clicking into and just start pressing buttons and learning and not being afraid to fail, like I named this live stream. But before we officially close out, we got to go ahead and get some things ready, right? Let's go ahead over here. And one of those things is Cities God, channels that I think you should go and watch. And let me see if I got this correctly. Perfect. Yes. And this week's Cities God is none other than Mr. Daniel Batal. Now, if you're not, oh, that wasn't the button. This is the button. There you go. Now, if you're not aware of Mr. Daniel Batal, he is a content creator. I've known from Daniel way before he actually started getting into DaVinci, which I'll touch on in a bit, from the days of the Nick Nimmin streams where I used to hang out. And this goes back 5 years plus from when I first met Doc Rock in those same chat rooms. Now, Daniel Batal is part of that crew, and as he used to do another company that was man, I forgot what it was. It was another video editor that they kind of did something similar to what CapCut has done in this past week, right? They kind of went back on their word on lifetime licenses, and ever since that happened, he was so disillusioned with that company that he had created so much content for that he said, you know what, forget it, I'm gonna start using Resolve because at least they have a 100% free version. And he started creating content for DaVinci Resolve and learning it the same way that we were doing on today's live streams. It has turned out that throughout the years now, he works hand in hand with Resolve, and the company DaVinci Resolve pays this man kind of like a stipend, a yearly to kind of just travel around and only or mostly speak about DaVinci Resolve and teach people on how to use it. So it went from something negative to something really cool. And I was fortunate to meet him in person at last year's Creator Camp, where he spoke about this and a couple of other things. So if it's your first time hearing of this man, let me be the one to introduce you to this week's Cities Gone, Mr. Daniel Batal, the Hair Force One, as we so enduringly call the man. Super cool guy, and if you're looking to learn a little bit more on DaVinci Resolve, like I am, I would highly recommend you check out this week's Cities Gone, Mr. Daniel Batal. As you can see, a lot of content on this particular program because it's what he's using. As you can see, like even right here, that this just basically says noob, right? Because that's kind of where we're at, just learning this new and you see it was Filmora. So Filmora was the one that kind of like did everyone dirty. That was what he used to do, and I wasn't sure if it was that one, but I'm glad that I saw it. Is Filmora Wondershare Filmora? Yep. So that's the one that apparently switched their whole, like lifetime license. So they were asking people that had already paid for lifetime memberships to actually like buy the new program, and that's what made him go with DaVinci. And now he's head first into DaVinci. So if you're looking to learn, there's a lot of content creators on this amazing platform that we call YouTube. And there's another one, Ripple Training, that Paul was telling me as well. I've highlighted Ripple Training here on Cities God before, but they're coming out with a new course for DaVinci Resolve the same way. So there's a lot of content, a lot of people to learn from, and I myself will also gonna be doing things like this more often as I learn myself in this program. So if you're interested, make sure that you subscribe to this channel just the same way and follow along with me as I learn DaVinci Resolve. But if not, go ahead and also check out Mr. Daniel Batal. He's definitely gives you a much deeper dive into this application, and he's also this week's Cities God channels that I think you should go and watch. None other than Mr. Hair Force One, Daniel Batal. And we've done it, guys. We have completed episode 130, no, 239. I keep saying one for some reason. It's almost even hard for me to fathom that we're well beyond 4 years, because I have so much fun doing this every single week. So if you're trying to figure out what is that number mean, well, 239 is the amount of consecutive weeks that we've been doing the Camera Junkie live stream week in, week out without skipping a beat. So if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, mark it down on your calendar. Every Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be hanging out right here with myself and the rest of the Camera Junkie crew. And we're going to get into a lot of different things, from Resolve to cameras and everything in between. So as always, I want to thank the Camera Junkie crew, all of you, for making this my favorite place to hang out every single week. And yeah, there's still so many things that we can talk about. I didn't even get into contests that I started, a contest on Maker World that I put this part in, and soon I'll probably be making a video about this, for the simple reason that I want to be able to gift this to the Camera Junkie crew. If you have a 3D printer and you want to get yourself a camera lens, stabilizer, or what is it, long lens support, I've made one that you can 3D print for yourself and then use it, and I already tested it and it works amazing. So I threw that also onto the contest for Maker World. So if you want to get your hands on that file, you can go ahead and find that there, and then it will just give like a good thumbs up or a download, showing that what I'm producing both here and on Maker World for a variety of different things is helping people out. So guys, thank you as always for making this my favorite place to be, and I wish you all a great week. Before we head out, let me go check out the last things in chat. Some people sneaking in here. June says, one last thing for you, the quick export up top is handy. Have fun with DaVinci Resolve. Thank you very much. And anyone seeing this, hopefully they get a little bit more of great info, great tip. It says lack of magnetic timeline is not an issue. It's not, but it's there, so it helps, because everything's been snapping, and it's just like, okay, and it just allows it to make the step even just that much easier to start using this application. Albert's in the house, says thank you for sharing, Lewis, listening while I change some XLR cables under my desk. Hey, happy to help, man. Says Jeremy Hubble, I use ripple delete, not 100% the same thing, but it helps. You see, like, that's exactly what I was looking for, and that's snapping, that the ripple delete, which is the same thing, the ripple training, right? He also says, I got into DVR a few months back. Just got sidetracked. I love node editing. Reminds me of my old 3D software development with Autodesk, but still a noob with DVR. And I'm guessing DaVinci Resolve. That's DVR. My mind automatically goes to TiVo. Just letting you know. You know, my old school self, I hear DVR, that's digital video recorder. And TiVo was the first one that you can get. So that was there. It says, thanks, mate. No, thank you, man. You're very welcome. And like I said, mark it down on your calendar so you can get here for episode 240 and don't miss it as we march our way to 250 something, 253, I think, or 255, which would be 5 years. And that is just, it says smoke. And Paul's saying, have a great week. That's right. We're saying bye. I'm over here just lost in the comments again. He says, you're pulling out some relics. Yeah, it's eventually material editing in Maya. Wow. Okay, so I guess Smoke was the application that he was using. It says awesome lens support that needs weight on my rig. Thanks. Absolutely. You know what? Let me go ahead and put the link in the chat so that you can get it yourself. And if you're doing any 3D printing, you'll be able to get it right here. Got to go to my Maker World. And for those of you who are not familiar, Maker World is the program or the website that's taking a long time to load. Okay. Is the website made from the company Bamboo Labs, which is the brand that I bought my 3D printer. So we're going to go into my 3D models. And I'm just going to copy this. Oh, actually share link. Copy link. And I'm just going to drop that in here for anyone interested. You can go ahead and download that right away. Okay, so June's saying bye. Everybody's saying bye. Everybody's saying thanks. And that's where we're going to leave it. It says, I'll message you a small mod idea for lens support. I got an idea. All right, absolutely. Hit me up on IG. It should be under the same at Mr. Camera Junkie. You'll see the same face, right? You can't miss the beard. And shoot me a message there so that we're in contact for that. I'm going to be in contact with another friend of mine, Art, because of my rig junkie setups that I'm making for camera cages and things like that. So, yeah, I'll be waiting on your message. Yes, and that's it, guys. We did it. Thanks again. Episode 239 in the books, and I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces as we do it all over again right here, same time, same place on the Mr. Camera Junkie YouTube channel a week from today. So until then, take care of yourselves and each other. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And until next time, I will see you all next time. Talk to you.